Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Fatback 4 Daily for this Tuesday night. Brought to you by Paddy Power, a bookies, a website, and an app. If you gamble, please gamble responsibly and remember to do so with Paddy Power. Liverpool are 22 points clear in the Premier League. Martin Tyler is in the early stages of grief, and it's getting worse and worse from by the week, which is absolutely amazing. Tonight, we're going to talk football if you want to. We're going to talk anything you want, really. It's your show tonight. Anything you want. Football, Liverpool, non-football, the random stuff the most random stuff that's in your head. Absolutely go for it. I have two great guests with me tonight. I have Keith and I have Chris, so they're well able to answer these questions. So yeah, here we go. And here we go. Keith and Chris, it's very random tonight, so you may get football stuff, you may get non-football stuff, you may get stuff about stilts and foam fingers and all sorts of stuff that goes on usually on this show. But the first one I want to ask you, it just popped into my head while I was watching Chelsea getting torn apart by Bayern Munich, was when Philippe Coutinho come on the pitch, lads, right? He came on and I just thought to myself, and this is exactly the thought in my head, do you remember when he used to score goals and he used to make the facial expression like he was singing the big emotional bit in a power ballad? And that's exactly what I thought in my head. And I thought I'd ask you lads, A, do you remember it? And B, what's the celebration that used to always get on your wick in one way or another? So Keith, I'm going to come to you first.
Yeah, I do remember it. He'd always, he looked like, a Roxette tribute act or something when he'd be blasting out the pipes after scoring a goal. In all honesty, he scored a few crackers, so he was entitled to do whatever he wanted. But it wasn't the worst. Now, the one that usually got on my wick, the simple ones, like, I hated Alan Shearer's one because I didn't like Alan Shearer.
Oh, just the
Robbie
one hand
Keane's
in the air?
one. The one hand in the air. Robbie Keane's one done me bleeding head in as well. The little tumble bow and arrow job. Loads of effort into that, and it was just shy. It always looked brutal.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I'll let you wait. I'll let you go with that one. The Shearer one was quite basic, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was just so boring and so bleeding vanilla, and that was a celebration,
Do you know what one I hated as well? Do you remember Lee Sharp?
Oh, the little dance.
And he used to run for the corner flag.
The Macarena before the Macarena.
Yeah, he done that kind of thing. That all started with Roger Miller at the 90 World Cup. That was really good, but the Lee Sharp one annoyed me. Chris, which one annoyed you, Chris?
I'm trying to think. Shearer, I'm trying to think who used to score against us, because basically anyone who scored against us used to annoy me. Shearer did because it was dull. It was really dull. I wasn't a big fan of the Evan Heskey one, to be honest.
Oh, the DJ one.
The DJ. Yeah.
See, I didn't mind it, but then when Emir went through his very barren spell, I was a bit like, Johnny Score's a bit like, I can't be asking the DJ thing. So I'll be honest, mate, we don't see it. We don't see it enough now. So I was a bit, that used to wind me up a little bit, because I can't stand players who do these big, elaborate celebrations but barely score. I'm like, just get on with it.
Yeah.
Lingard
must be in for that.
Yeah, his is bleeding terrible, isn't it? Yeah. But do you remember there used to be mad ones like Jimmy Bullard and all used to have fully orchestrated celebrations when Hull had scored a goal and
so they had the manager, didn't he?
Yeah, sat them all down, giving out. Remember on the pitch and all that. Like, used to do some mad stuff.
I used to like the Ian Wright ones because they were just, you could just, most of the time they were off the cuff. They were like pure raw emotion. I preferred them,
Oh yeah,
bit of
fun.
The one I couldn't stand was Balotelli's, because it was the doing his best and not show emotion. For God's sake, man, if you're going to score a goal, look like you're enjoying it.
Yeah. In fact, the one I hate is the non-celebration. When they score against their old teams and don't celebrate.
It doesn't
I love the Adebayor one when he ran the full length of the pitch. I thought, well done. I love that.
That's it. You'd hate it against you, wouldn't you? But yeah, that was good.
I liked it. Kevin Sullivan says, good evening, lads. Chelsea will have no choice but to go strong against us. They're out after that. I think the league is what I'm more looking for. Kev, as to where they are and that. Centurion says hello twice, so hello twice back to you. Jonathan Dunny, who says Spurs choreographed handshakes really gets on his wick. Yeah, they went on for a while, didn't they? Dele Alli, Harry Kane, and Son, I think, was involved in that. Dylan says, well, Dylan doesn't say. Yeah, it says, hey, Dylan's girlfriend here. He's driving. Just wanted to say, love the pod. Is that Dylan or his girlfriend loves the pod? Either way, we're happy with
both
that.
of them.
I'd say both of them. I'd say they sit down. Dylan talks about the time he was on a plane with Kinder Buenos and he couldn't eat them because there was a girl 3 rows up that had a peanut allergy. One of the funniest things I've ever heard. When I say me and Andy were just in ribbons laughing at that. 7.5 hours looking at a 12-pack of Kinder Buenos knowing you can't eat it. Ray Dickinson said Merton's celebrations tonight was horrible. I didn't see it. I was watching Chelsea. We've had.
It was a really crap dance he did.
Okay, we've had it confirmed that it's Dylan's girlfriend that likes the pod. Dylan despises us apparently, which is fair enough. A lot of people do.
Get off, Dylan.
Get in the queue, brother, and it's a long fucking queue. Do you know what one annoys me? Griezmann does isn't that the Fortnite dance?
He does all that Fortnite shit. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's a grown man.
I didn't know what that was. Someone had to educate me what that was.
Okay. Yeah. Centurion had the oddest dream. Him and Klopp in a room trying to convince everyone against signing anyone. So him and Klopp are in a room trying to convince the rest of the people at Liverpool against signing anybody. I like that. I'd love if we signed nobody this summer. Just to watch the world end. I genuinely think I would. I think I'd really, really enjoy that. I have to get the Discord group up in front of me here because some of the questions were absolutely belting earlier. And I'm trying to remember which one was even the first one that we got stuck into. Let me see. Oh yeah, Chemical Kev asked, pick one non-LFC player. No, I know this is football, but it's allowed. Pick one non-LFC player from any era to stick into this current team, but somebody from this team loses their place. It must be a like-for-like swap, says Chemical Kev. So, who wants to go first?
I've had 3 in my head.
You can only have one. Don't give me the 3 of them, only one.
I'm going to go with Brazilian Ronaldo.
Okay.
For Bobby.
Right. Oh.
Okay.
As great as Bobby is, Brazilian Ronaldo when he was at Barca was just immensely scary. Unfortunately, he was never quite the same after he tore his knees twice. But in his peak in those Barca days, was a very, very scary man. And I first think that his pace with the other 2 guys either side of him would just make Liverpool even more scary than they already are.
Okay, it's a big shout. That Centurion asks, if we don't sign anyone, will we be in FFP? We're inside that. I think we've been working towards that for a long time. Stephen O'Connor says Werner for 30 million euros. How true is this? Now he says that, right? Because when Timo Werner was on the verge of leaving Leipzig, I could have sworn I read in a couple of different places that he'd signed a new deal with a 30 million euro release clause. Yeah. And I couldn't believe when I heard 60 million.
Well, the talk is it's 30 million if the deal's agreed before April.
Okay.
But after April it goes up to 50. Bit of a if it's true, it's a random clause, like. But
okay. No, it's just I know it's a random clause, and before April is a bit mad. Who are you dropping into the team, Keith?
Yeah, it's an easy one for me, but it's also a hard one in the sense that the flair I'm putting in is Messi because he's just the best. For him taking Salah out. Okay. And that's controversial.
Okay.
It's controversial. Not that I dislike Salah, to be honest. It's not nothing of the sort. I just
Isn't Messi though like Firmino elite?
Yeah, but he's Salah elite as well, you know. He's a right left footer playing from the right, can play the false 9, really reinvented that role himself. But I'm a Bobby fan, you know. I in all honesty, Bobby was the one that I was looking at taking out, but I just couldn't do it to him. I just love him too much. So he stays in, Mo comes out, because, you know, it's fashionable to dig Mo out, isn't it, these days? So I said I'll get in that gang. But no, in all seriousness, I'm a big fan of Mo. I just think, I was trying to be too clever with it. I was thinking of the likes of Ferenc Puskas, the galloping major from the Hungarian team in the 1950s. Magic wand of a left foot. And I was going to put him left back. I said, no, I can't get Robbo out of the team, and he's a forward, so I can't really put him in left back. You know, it was a great question, because who do you take out of the team?
Yeah, the other two I was contemplating one was Michael Ballack before he joined Chelsea. Michael Ballack, when he was in Germany, was a goal machine, and the rumour was he was linked with Liverpool when Gerrard had he probably would have gone into Genie, but I still went for Ronaldo. The one player I think Klopp would have loved to have signed, because of his versatility, he loves versatility, is probably Philip Lahm and his pomp. The guy can play left back, right back, or centre mid.
Well, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I'm not changing the goalkeeper. I'm not changing Trent. I'm not changing Robbo Van Dijk. I think centre half are probably
just about.
Messi's a great shout. Like, let's be honest, you could probably make a case for Ronaldo in there somewhere as well. Yeah. But I think I'll go slightly different and go into midfield. Yeah. And when you look at being some outrageous midfielders throughout the years, but I think I like Fabinho there. I like Henderson or whatever. But if I was to pick one. I have a few in my head, and it's hard to pick. I'd be looking for someone that would be a brilliant goal scoring midfielder, because just that's I think that's probably the one thing we don't have is a 15 to 20 goal a season midfielder. I'm gonna have to have a little think about it because of a couple. I might come back to it in a little bit. Let me see.
I think the other thing we miss is we need someone who can take an attacking free kick. If we have a free kick 25 yards out. Trent can, but he
doesn't score enough of them. He doesn't
score enough. But I must admit, I know we're not trying to dig Salah out, but when Salah steps over one, you're going, he's not scoring. That's probably the one Coutinho element I don't think we've ever quite replaced properly.
Okay.
Shaqiri hits a main one, but doesn't play enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Danny Emery, Danny, we need to let you know that it has to be a non-Liverpool player because he has Souness for Genie, which makes loads of sense.
Which is fair enough.
But it's fair enough. But it has to be non-Liverpool. Ellis says that the stuff about Werner was lost in translation, and the thing is up until April. So yeah, it makes absolute sense there. Centurion says Kevin De Bruyne for Hendo was a suggestion. No.
It's a good suggestion.
No, it's
I
not.
wouldn't do it myself. But
no,
there's too many.
You're playing FIFA now.
The reason I'm saying it's a good suggestion, right, is if you wanted to, it's very hard to pick from any era, from any non-LFC player. You know what I mean? Like, players will come in. I'm thinking of, you look at goal scoring midfielders, and you're looking at, Frank Lampard, for example. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have Frank Lampard in the team. Michael Ballack, as Chris said, there's a lot of them. So if you are trying to narrow it down and say, right, from a modern point of view, maybe Kevin De Bruyne into the midfield. But
he does give you that free kick option as well, doesn't he?
Not for Henderson.
He does.
Not
for Henderson, maybe for Genie. But then Genie's, we're not a goal scoring midfield team, and that could be by design. You know what I mean? Klopp, I've said that before. Klopp's midfields, he tends to go with workers in there to enable other players to do the creative work. So.
Jonathan Donahue says Michael Laudrup for Genie or Hendo, best passer of a through ball ever, feeding our front three. Kev O'Sullivan has Zidane in for Genie. Danny Emery has.
There's just so many of them, isn't there? Like, Cruz, be here all day.
He has Cruz for Genie. He has a bit of a man crush on Tony Cruz. Apparently, there is loads of them. I think that is something along them lines I go for. But when I look, I always think back to our midfield and go, it's just the job they do. Now, having said that, when you watch the game last night, and I'm not going into the game, but when you watch the game last night, we were looking for a bit more directness in midfield, and that's where Chamberlain come in. But like Grizz is saying all day, Kevin De Bruyne, not in the Jordan Henderson role in their midfield. No fucking way. It's not happening. But look, it's a good argument. It's a very, very good question, in fairness to Chemical Kev, so thanks for that.
It is.
Tino asks, what is the stupidest thing you've ever done of your own free will? Or here's an easier one for you, right? What's something you've tried or done that you'll never, ever try or do again?
Okay.
Pulled pork.
Pulled pork.
Yeah. Pulled pork.
What, is that bad?
Is that euphemism for something?
I don't know.
No, that's when it just started out there. Old pulled pork was like all the rage.
Yeah.
Me and my wife tried it. I thought, oh, it tastes all right. And that night we both had got norovirus.
Nice one.
So as soon as I got the smell of it, I'm like, oh no, never again. So that's one thing that's always put me off.
Okay. Keith, is there something you've tried or done and you wouldn't do again?
Yeah, I got my wife's sister is one of these wax merchants, and
Wax.
Used to be in. Yeah.
Does she call herself a wax merchant?
No, I call her a wax merchant. Right? So she's
a job description.
A part-time wax merchant.
There's Debbie over there, the wax merchant. Go
That's
on.
a great
whatever they call
profile.
themselves.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm from the nose down, I'm quite a hairy person. So
Right.
me missus convinced me to let her wax me back when we were going away one year. So just get a little wax off. That doesn't hurt. Waxing is grand. Okay, we'll give her a go. One
With the
shot she
strips?
had with the strips.
That's not.
She had worst thing I've ever gone through in my life. Listen, I've loads of tattoos and all. Not a bother. Well, I'm not saying not a bother. This thing was 100 times worse.
Yeah.
Absolutely
And
horrific.
did you just
She
go
got
on holiday with one strip?
one strip, and I just said, no, fuck that, put my top back on.
Did you go on holiday with one strip?
Shaved to get the old Mac 3 onto it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Did you like the fella from 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yes, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Exactly. Now, I'm not as hairy as him, but Jesus Christ, it was unbelievable.
Just a random
blood and all
pass.
there was.
Yeah, well, she is an absolute merchant. Like, you know what
Wax
I mean?
merchant.
Yeah, fucking merchant. Did Liam not have a word? No?
No. Liam isn't. He's not a groomer.
Right.
He'd be against all that sort of nonsense.
He'd be anti-grooming.
Yeah.
Live and
he
let
wouldn't
live.
be into that.
Yeah. Has Liam given you any feedback on the fact that we're talking about him and his cabbage water?
No, well, you see, he's a bit upset about that. He's not a cabbage water man.
Right.
My ma's a cabbage water woman and our whole family.
Right.
He likes the actual cabbage and
potatoes,
the sprouts and all that sort of
He's
stuff,
he's a bit of class, isn't he?
He's a bit of class, but now I was talking to my ma earlier on, and we are on we have a daily cabbage water update and all that, and she pointed out, she says, if you're ever on that podcast again and you're talking about cabbage water, tell them it's very good for you.
Right.
Very good for you.
Okay.
You know? It ages you something terrible, but it's very good for you.
Yeah, you look about 80, but you can live forever.
And you'll be only 28.
So I was in Italy last summer on holiday, and we went to, you know the way you go to these water parks, and great time. Went the first week, brilliant time, and there was loads of different slides and stuff, but there was 4 of them that were over on their own. They were the big ones, you know, the kind of way. And I think we done two of them that day, and the following week we went back, and the lads said, you know, it was a family holiday, but 3 of the lads said to me, come on, we go up and we do these 2. So we done 2 of them, which was a 2-man thing, but the last one was a 4-man one, where you're in like this fucking long, skinny dinghy, right? Yeah. But this thing was miles up, and I went, that doesn't look too bad. Went up, oh mother of Jesus, it was miles up, right? And you literally sat in this dinghy. It didn't go out. It just literally fell out of the fucking sky and went straight down. I've never fucking felt anything like it. I genuinely got off it, and I thought I was standing beside myself. That's how bad it was. And that was one thing I will never ever do again. Megan asks, if you could be a member of one TV family for a day, which family would you be part of?
Oh,
it's a good question.
Right. I hate bringing my own family into this again, but there's a touch of the royal family off us. My dad is a bit of a Jim Royal, right?
Yeah.
He's one of these Jim Royal merchants now, I have to say, he really is. And then my sister, I have 2 sisters, and one of them is like Denise Royal, you know, gets a fella to do everything, you know.
Yeah.
When you get me the remote control, will you do it? Doesn't scratch herself and gets him to do everything. So it could be the royal family.
Okay.
Could be the royal family for me.
Okay. Chris, for you?
I can't think of one. I'm trying to think of my mind's gone blank for TV families.
The royal family is a good show. It really
is good. It is a good show. I'm trying to think of someone different. I can't think of it. The other family I've got my head's the Simpsons, but I couldn't think of anything worse.
What about the other royal family, the Windsors? They're great crack.
Yeah, worryingly, I might be classed with a normal one in them, which is a bit concerning.
I think I'd love to be part of Frank Gallagher's on Shameless for the day. That looks great crack. I'd love that.
It'd be a bit heavy tack, but for longer than a day, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, you're just going out to get lost for the
Shameless.
day. Yeah, you're going out to get locked for the day, and then you just head
going
off.
down to the jockey, pointing two ears, players.
Yeah, pointing two bells, as he calls it.
Yeah.
No, I'd like that. Chris, have you got anything for us?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, you're not going for the thing. Let me see. Danny says, Veet on the crown jewels, then being distracted by the TV and leaving it on way too long. Ginger man with ginger bollocks. That's not good.
Veet on.
Oh yeah.
No.
I know, mate. I know a mate that does that.
Shave it.
No, Veet does the Veet on his grooming, yeah.
On his onions.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Veet merchant, as you would call him around your way. Dylan says, would you rather permanently have the hiccups or permanently have a headache?
Oh.
Hiccups for me.
The hiccups, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, headache in fucking 20 minutes and you'll be gone bleeding spare.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you keep having hiccups, though, you're gonna vomit eventually.
Yeah,
but you just always have them.
Yeah. It'd be annoying. It'd be more of a bleeding annoyance, wouldn't it? The headache would just get, that'll kill you.
Centurion says he's losing love for Cara for putting Liverpool fans in a bad light. Some stuff should remain within fan bases. I don't know what that is, Centurion. You'll have
what
to.
What did he do?
I don't know.
He was talking about Salah being unappreciated. And if I can put it, said if Liverpool fans said, would you sell one of the front three? Everyone always says, "We'll sell Salah, but we wouldn't sell the other two." And he's like, "But I don't know why he'd sell Salah because he's the best outputter of the three," which he has a fair point about.
The only thing I'd say about that is if I was replacing one in the front three, I'd replace Salah. But it's not that I'd replace Salah as such. It's the one I think would move on quicker than the other two. You know what I mean? And that's not I walk out or that. And I think he's done not that he's done enough, but if we win the league and we were to win a Champions League, and he wanted to. He's such a global superstar and he wanted to go to Spain for the last couple of years of his career or whatever, you'd say fair enough, you know what I mean? Whereas I could see the other two maybe staying there longer. And that's the only reason. It's not that you'd want to replace Salah, it's just he's the one I think they would replace.
Yeah, I think Mane's most difficult to replace, because it seems to be whenever Klopp wants to rest Firmino or rest Salah or try something different, he tends to move Mane to accommodate things. Like if Trent needs a bit of cover, I'll move Mane to there. Who's going to play left? Mane can play there, or he can play in the 10. I think Mane's probably the most versatile of the three.
Centurion says, why ask the question to criticise the answer and debase it? To be honest with you, and Kevin Sullivan says, Carragher was right. I've seen that convo a lot. And Andy, that's exactly the reason Carragher gave us as to why fans would sell him. To be honest with you, listen, I'm going to give you my point of view on it. He's on Sky doing something there, right? And listen, it may be a conversation that's legitimate. It may be a conversation that's on social media, whatever social media it's on. And there may be a conversation goes on and people may have that opinion and may not. But I have to say I've been completely turned off Sky this season, completely and utterly turned off them. I think, like if you watch football in Ireland, if you watch the Irish coverage of the Champions League, they're nearly punching the head off each other in the studio because they say what they want. And I always remember Souness saying, coming to Ireland and into the RTE studios with the likes of Eamon Dunphy and John Giles and these people, and he couldn't believe what they were saying. And none of it was
I remember the first times he was on that, and he was nearly trying to be polished, and then the boys were going mad, and he's looking at them and like, what the fuck's going on?
And I suppose you could blame Liverpool a bit in this because they've made it a procession, and because of that, it's everyone knows what's going to happen. So these shows have to be more and more kind of structured now to bring in a viewer because people are going, the league's over, I'm not watching that tonight, and.
Essentially, it's clickbait, isn't it?
Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. People watch Sky, love the Monday Night Football and all. That's absolutely fair enough. But for me, it's too structured. It's too politically correct. And then when they do step out of line the odd time, i.e. Gary Neville about the government, I think it was, and there was a big furore over it. And there's been a good few bits with Roy Keane. But Roy Keane is obviously going there going, let's say what I fucking want, So I've been completely turned off that. And I do feel Carragher and Neville at times just are playing up to what they're being told rather than what they want to say. So That's just the way it goes. Centurion says the NBC coverage is good. Commentators get a freer hit for being US exclusive. Yeah, that's a fair point as well. That's absolutely a fair point. What more questions did we have? Let me see. Oh, Barry Carr asked, in terms of what you've witnessed in all sports, any sport you want, can you name the most dominant displays you've seen, i.e. first round knockouts, 12 round schoolings in boxing, unreal golf, octagon, Leo Messi, whatever. Is there any dominant displays that you've seen where you go, wow, just wow?
Ben Stokes in the World Cup final.
Right, cricket. Against New Zealand, wasn't
it? Yeah.
Yeah, I only remember that because Grizz was pretending he was English that day, and was up for England, and we had a great time.
I've watched lots of England collapses when you're waiting for someone to turn up or win it for him. Basically, like do a Gerrard in football, drag us out with shite. And that's probably the first time in a while where you just watch it going, he could do anything.
Yeah.
And there were some mad shots and all that, so that's probably the first time in a while where I've watched it go, I've actually got excited like I'm watching Liverpool score a goal. Jimmy screaming at the telly, going, watching it go, we've lost it, we've won it, we've lost it, we've won it. Oh my God. That's probably the most excited I've got watching another sport that's not Liverpool.
That's fair enough. That's absolutely fair enough. Keith, what have you got?
Well, sort of what I couldn't really. I was thinking about it there, and I can't think of any sort of overly dominant, team performances. I mean, there's been plenty, but you'd see a team. I mean, you could go back to Liverpool, Nottingham Forest when they bet them 5-0. You can look at Liverpool spanking Arsenal a few years ago 5-1. There's dominant displays like that. But I think when I think it's like real domination, it's the top. What was the top level when there was one dominant force and the others were just making up numbers? And I'm thinking of Usain Bolt in the Olympics or the World Championships, whenever there was a bleeding 100 metres, 200 metres final, and the others were just there literally to.
Wasn't it Michael Johnson
numbers.
In the 200 metres as well for going back
the
a bit
2 and 4 as well?
Yeah, he was just
400, and it was just, you knew what was coming. You know what I mean? You knew that these are just in here to break world records. But the other 7 in this race are just, fighting for the silver. And that was the domination that went on for years. And similar, Michael Phelps in the swimming. When you'd be at the Olympics again, it was how many world records is he going to break? How many medals? To me, that was the most dominant. There was no one could get near them.
The thing with Bolt, he used to look like he was running in slow motion, but still be like
celebrating before he got there.
Yeah, celebrate with 20 meters to go. Looks like he's jogging. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna go away from them sports. I'm gonna go to the sport I play the most, and it's golf. And Tiger Woods, between probably the years, probably late 90s right up until he basically had 20 years where he was just out of this world. He hasn't won the most majors of all time. He may get there and get to Jack Nicholson's record of 18. He's on 15, I think, at the minute after winning the Masters last year. But watching Tiger Woods play golf between them periods was mind-blowing. Now, the technology is there now where they can hit up miles. They were playing in Mexico over the weekend, 8,000 feet above sea level, and they were driving the ball. I think McIlroy hit a 400-yard drive at one stage. It was ridiculous. But Woods came on the scene, and he was just different to anything I'd ever seen. Now, don't get me wrong, when Woods came on the scene, I was about 16 years of age, 17 years of age probably, but I was watching golf from a very young age, and I went through all the Faldo years, and the, Faldo and Woosnam and the likes of Greg Norman, players like that. But Woods came along, and he redefined the sport, and he still does to this day, because if you watch when Woods plays, he's just, it's a complete, not a circus, it's the wrong word, it's fanfare, it's box office, and he could be going around playing terribly and he's still box office. So Tiger Woods. But somebody else you mentioned there, I think it was Danny, he said Ian Poulter at Medina in 2012 in the Ryder Cup. For anybody that doesn't know, Europe were 10-6 down going into the singles. There was 12 singles matches and managed to win it, and they had no right to. And Ian Poulter the night before came from a couple of holes down with Rory McIlroy, I think, as his partner, and got a point back, so it wasn't going to be 11-5, it was 10-6, and the next day then just unbelievable.
That's where McElroy nearly overslept, didn't
he? Was it McElroy nearly overslept in that Ryder Cup? Yes, it may have been in the singles that day. Yeah, it may have been that one. But Tiger Woods for me, and I'm not a big fan of Tiger Woods as a person, and I watch him play golf. But when I watch him play golf, it's just outrageously good. Keith, you have to go on a pub crawl in Liverpool, and the person that wants to know where to go is JD1982 says, Liverpool pub crawl, what bars are a must for you? Come on, Keith.
It's a tough one, like, because it depends. Like, whenever I go to Liverpool, depends where we're staying. You go into the first pub and then you're just crawling and you're making your way, depending on the crowd you're with. You're going to Matthew Street, or you're going to Concert Square, or you're going to, like, Alma the Cuba. There's loads of different places. So if I was going to one place, be Alma, maybe.
Alma's off the charts.
Yeah, Alma would be the place I'd be looking to go. But from a pub crawl point of view, just fucking anywhere. I don't know the names of half of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just wherever you're parked.
I was there in August for Norwich at home. First game of the season. And whatever way the flights were and the hotels were, I ended up going in on the Thursday because we played Friday night. And there was no one around. None of our lads were arriving until the Friday. So I just went on a little crawl myself on the Thursday and had a great time. Matt of this parish gave me a couple of pubs. He said, no, try these, they're decent. And I ended up in the Philharmonic. I went down.
Philharmonic's good.
Yeah, I just rambled. I literally rambled around Liverpool for about 8-9 hours. Just going into different pubs, having a pint and watching the world go by. There's loads of different. I always say about Shiraz for the breakfast. O'Neill's, the Irish bar, is decent for food and drink, but we're Irish, we go over there. It's not great. There's one down the end of. It was called the Hub. It's called something else now. It's like something social. It's on the name of the street. I'll get it now in a minute. That's good. I like the Beehive just off Liverpool 1 there. I really like that. Although
traditionalist.
Well, yeah, I don't know if we're allowed back in. We nearly got kicked out the last time we were in for causing uproar and singing songs. But just listen, most pubs in Liverpool are absolutely fine. You go in, you have a drink. The one I was in the last time was called the Slaughterhouse. Really good. Great pint of Guinness in it, by the way. So, yeah, things like that. Pubs like that, absolutely fine. Chris, any recommendations from me?
Yeah, I tend to go around sort of Sleater Street. So I go to likes of Sheffield Forecast, Heebie-Jeebies, Peacocks is good. And then you end up in Albert de Cuba. Jacaranda's all right if you go there early. But once it gets packed, it's crap.
Yeah.
So I sort of go go more to that side of Liverpool now rather than I don't really do Concert Square and Matthew Street anymore.
I love Alma de Cuba. I do. I just think it's deadly. Megan McCallion asks, who's your favourite for the Masters this year? Hope McIlroy does it. And then he has won every major. Yeah, the Grand Slam. Megan, what I will tell you is, in the week leading up to the Masters, if McIlroy is on the telly a hell of a lot saying how well he's playing, don't put any money on him. He never does well when he talks himself up. If McIlroy stays quiet and keeps his head probably up until the end of day 2, he's in with a great chance. But I don't think you can look past John Ram. I think he's playing exceptionally well. He's a big hitter, and he usually keeps it straight. So there you go. David Glennon says the Blob is an experience. The Blob, of course, being the pub in Liverpool. Yeah, it absolutely is an experience. Jerry Cahill says the Formula 1 lads, have you ever stayed there? No, I haven't stayed there. The Formula 1, is it still there?
It's still there.
Across from Albert Dock?
Yeah, I'm sure it's still there.
Is it still there? Yeah, Jesus.
I think so, yeah.
Jerry Cahill also says Keynes is a great point. Let me see. Did you see the prices released for Jamie Webster's tour in June? €62. He had a bit of a problem. He had a bit of a problem in Dublin, I think, or somewhere in Ireland last week when he played a gig and people were kicking off because he wasn't playing Liverpool songs, when clearly he'd said, I'm going to be playing my own original material. But he's announced something else now for June, and he has put all over the thing. No Liverpool songs, it's his own stuff. David Glennon says Slater's was £1 a pint back in the day. Absolute carnage. And Jonathan Dunny, who backs me up, says Brooks Koepka or John Ram. I just like the look of John Ram. The way he's playing at the moment, he's coming on form at the right time when it comes to the Masters. Boring people with golf. I'm playing tomorrow. If it fucking snows tonight and stops me from playing golf in the morning, there will be absolute fucking uproar.
Yeah. Model the snow. It's fucking freezing out there.
Absolute model. I think it's too cold to snow. Although how ridiculous does that sound?
Tell that to the polar bears.
Yeah. So that's it. Formula One. Oh, jeez. Jonathan says Formula One is worse than Auschwitz. Jesus Christ. The grand social last week in Dublin was where Jamie Webster had the problem. But look, he clearly said it was going to be his own original material. So there you go. Any more random questions? Absolutely throw them in there, and you're more than welcome to throw them in, and we'll absolutely try call them out. Let me see. Okay, Dylan says Mrs. only back from Liverpool went to a club called Balls Deep. Said it was class. Big ball pit, innit? Okay, so it's a big ball pit you go into. Okay, there's one with a brilliant roof terrace. Oh me, oh my! If you get a chance to go to that, but you have to be in there early when it opens, I believe, to get up onto the roof terrace. It's really, really nice. Yeah, it's a decent but it's a decent pub. It's a decent roof terrace and all that sort of stuff.
Doesn't have a big ball pit in it, does it?
No ball pits there, unfortunately. But I will say that me and Grizz have organised a pool competition for when we go to Liverpool in May, because Grizz has told me he used to be a mean pool player, very defensive, he said. But he says that he tries to find a way to snooker people from the off. He wanted to play American pool. I said no chance. You have to go onto a standard pool table. So we've organised that for May as well. Somebody else asked, "Will you?" Have you got
his John Berger waistcoat?
I might have to try go and get one. I think I know where I will get one as well. But Megan McCallion asked, "Did you see Rams hole in one on Saturday?" Yeah, unbelievable. I felt a bit bad for him towards the end of the tournament, and I was delighted Bryson DeChambeau didn't win because he does me head in. But what was I going to say to you? Yeah, we have a pill competition. Jonathan Donahue says, Gav, do you work at all? I do. I work very hard, thanks. It just happens that tomorrow I'm allowed to play golf. Let me see. Somebody else asked, when the parade is on in Liverpool, will the day trippers be there? Will they be taking videos? Oh yeah, we'll be doing all that. Or once it's on the Monday after the final day of the season, we will be. If it's changed, we'll have to organise something. But listen, if we get anywhere near that parade, yeah, there'll be loads of filming and loads of stuff like that at all. Let me see. When are you doing a tickets giveaway in which I win tickets for a home game, says Maverick? I'll try my best. You won't get them this season, I can guarantee it. They're like gold dust. So, yeah.
Wait till we're shit again, and then you might get them.
Yeah, when we're eighth in the league and 40 points off the top, I'll get you as many as you want. Dylan says, would you rather always need to have a shit or never know when you are going to shit?
I always know when you need to have a shit. I always think you're going to have a shit, whatever. You wouldn't want to not know.
Yeah.
You're just walking or you're strutting it in Alma de Cuba, and next thing you shit yourself.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want that.
Oh, no.
Constantly feel like I'm going to have a crap. So, yeah, I'd go with that.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll be the same. I don't like the uncertainty.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm a bit of a risk taker in some things, but not in that.
Not your shit.
You did let wax merchants near you before you went on holiday, so you do like.
And never again. You know, I've walked on that wild side before, and I've suffered for it for me craft.
Okay, David Glennon says potentially 3 dates for the parade after the last league game, after the FA Cup final, or after the Champions League final. The only thing I've heard, David, is that it takes a lot of planning for this. You have to actually get permission. Permission granted to close basically down the city, and I'm not too sure if they're going to let them just hang around with 3 dates. So it'll be interesting to see what way they do it.
I think they might do 2. I think they might do one.
They may do 2. They may do 2.
What if a title, and if you're in FA Cup or European, they'll probably wait till after the European final. If big ifs. Okay.
Jonathan Donahue said it's €62 for a You'll Never Walk Alone event in the Red Cow with Jamie Webster and a Q&A with Aldo Fowler and McAteer. So that's obviously different to this. Is that different to the Jamie Webster tour itself? Maybe it is. Or maybe it is part of it, but he's playing all his own original songs. I'm not too sure. I've no more random questions. Anything else on your mind before?
In fairness to Jamie Webster, sorry for going back to that, he sort of has pigeonholed himself. Do you know what I mean? Now I know he's trying to make a stab at it with the original stuff, but he's nearly made a rod for his own back there. So he might just have to suck that up and accept that there'll be people looking for LA, and wherever else he's going to blast out.
Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely will. Come here, lads, and I ask you, before we go, the old coronavirus. This needs to piss off fairly
Needs to
fast.
fuck off, doesn't it? Yeah. Getting worried about it now.
Are you?
Yeah, they're closing things to beat the band, bleeding everywhere. And I know they're looking for a little excuse to scupper us, you know what I mean? I don't mind not winning the league this year if it's sort of end of the world stuff, so we don't know what we
But
didn't win the
we're not
league.
doing it for the flu.
But not this year. Yeah, no, sorry, we're cancelling the league. We'll start again in September, in August.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
Yeah. No.
We'll play, you're all right. We'll go through a bleeding 28 days later job and just get them all out there playing.
What'll happen is that the league won't stop, the football won't stop. They're just behind closed doors. That's what'll happen. Like Italy, but Italy are not badly affected. They've had more. There's more of an effect in Italy than most places, you know. But listen, you're going to get the scaremongering as well. Like I've read there that people coming back to Dublin through the airport after being in Italy on a week's holiday reported themselves to the authorities, and the authorities said, "No, you're grand and keep walking." That's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Dylan says he's eating nachos now, and he wants to know what we think of nachos. I've never eaten nachos.
Have you not?
No.
They're right with salsa.
Make your own salsa.
Yeah,
The shop bought ones usually crap. But loads of cheese sauce. Cheese sauce is the king on nachos.
Yeah, I've never eaten them. Quick ones here. Dylan, he's loads of them, right? So here we go, Keith and Chris, really quick. Fajitas or shepherd's pie?
Shepherd's pie.
Oh, yeah, fajitas. I do make a mean shepherd's pie as well, but I'll go fajitas.
Okay. Fanta orange or 7-Up?
7-Up.
Fanta orange.
Fanta orange. Let me see. Kebab and chips or a 3-in-1 Chinese tray, like chips, curry sauce, fried rice.
3-in-1.
3-in-1.
Okay. Coors or Guinness?
Coors. I had a pint of Guinness. I was at a wedding there a couple of weeks ago in Cavan, and the lads were having a pint of Guinness, and I don't drink it. I says, yeah, I'll have a pint of Guinness. Took the first mouthful of it. I was like, this is fucking awful stuff.
Yeah,
Couldn't believe what I let myself in for. And it was expensive as well, like 6-something a pint, so I had to drink the fucker.
Yeah.
It was never again. Again.
But hotel, wedding, Guinness, don't go near it. Dylan's last one.
Nice.
Brown hula hoops, which is the barbecue hula hoops, or King Crisps?
Brown hula hoops.
King Crisps.
Brown hula hoops without a shadow of a doubt.
King Crisps. On bread.
Another one, Big Mac or Whopper?
Big Mac.
Big Mac.
Whopper all day long. The Big Mac is the biggest myth in the world. It's tiny.
Yeah, it is. Compared to the Whopper, you're not getting the bang for your buck on it, alright, but I don't like the way they flame grill them Whoppers.
Do you know?
No, it's too hipstery for me. Now give me the sort of microwave, Big Mac.
Sticker in a sandwich maker and I'll be grand, bud.
Yeah, that's it.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
I've never watched the Harry Potter, so I'll say Lord of the Rings.
Never seen either.
Harry Potter.
Although in saying that, there's a big craze of fucking head cases that play Quidditch in public parks now. Did you ever see that?
No. What's this?
Quidditch?
Oh, that's the shitty makey up game they play in Harry Potter on broomsticks. I don't know.
You're messing. They're not going around pretend. No.
Fairview Park in Dublin. I was walking by there in the summer, and there was about 12 of them out there with
broomsticks.
on broomsticks.
No way.
Yeah, Quidditch. I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's a thing. They're all doing it now.
No. Well,
Quidditch.
You can't be having that.
Someone must know about
this. Did you
this
report
on
them
there.
to the police?
I had to sit down. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Okay. Megan asks, the worst film franchise ever.
The worst film franchise ever.
The one with the cars.
Fast and
Furious.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
A lot of people like it, but don't they? They're very popular.
No,
I was going to say Harry Potter. Fuck that, brutal.
Yeah, no, it's the one with the cars. Them lads, Fast and the Furious. That's my answer. Chris, any advance on either of them?
No, Fast and Furious is probably the right answer.
Yeah, I think it is. Dylan has seen those Space Cadets in Fairview on a Saturday morning, apparently.
Space Cadets.
Yeah, that's a thing in Dublin. Absolute spacers.
I love that phrase.
Danny Emery asks, comics, right? hipster question mark. Are they hipster comics? There's big money in them.
There is big
There's
money
huge
in them.
money in them.
The films are
they are a
brilliant.
bit hipster, they are, aren't they?
Mm.
Like that, because they're so geeky that they've sort of ventured over into hipster.
They become hipster now because people's trying to say, oh, the comics are better than the films. It's
Well, the amount of films coming out from them, I suppose, and haven't seen any of them, but the amount of them. Is,
I do like me comic book films. Must admit.
I'm not a fan at all, but I do know where it's coming from. But comics, no, I think. Do you know what? I think it's a nice thing if you have kids to get them collecting comics. I think that's a nice thing to do because it's Dylan swears to God there used to be these mad things in Fairview Park running around with foam weapons. That's mad.
Yeah,
that reminds me of
regular as well.
That reminds me of
Is that Star Wars people?
No, what was the film? What was the film your mum was in? Oh, Jesus.
With all the role playing stuff.
Paul Rudd was in it.
Yeah, that with your man Stifler out of American Pie as well. That one.
And they had
and
to help these kids.
And they were going in the role play and all that shit. Yeah.
Role models.
Role models.
Yeah,
that's what it reminds. Dylan says best.
No, I've seen that with the psychos with the foam things as well. They run around and it's like if they hit each other with these big foam.
Stop calling them psychos. They're just spacers.
Well, look here. You know what I mean? They're in Fairview Park hitting each other with big foam sticks. And if you get hit or something, you have to kneel down.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you get back into the game. Psychos. Yeah. Absolute psychopaths.
Right, LFC Barbados, which is an official Liverpool supporters club, asks beef, lamb, chicken or pork, which are Sunday roast.
Lamb. Do you like lamb?
I do like lamb as well.
Can I have turkey and ham?
You can.
Great, that's what I'll have.
Just because you're the boss here, you can have whatever you want.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. But, no, I'll take turkey and ham, please.
Although beef, I do like beef as well.
Depends how it's done.
Them. Yeah.
What are you going? No. So you're having lamb. What are you having, Chris?
I'm having lamb, mate.
Okay, and I'll have turkey and ham. Danny Emery asks, best American sport?
Basketball.
I think it's the NFL.
I love the NFL as well, but
it's the only
basketball would be me first. See, the problem with the basketball is it's beyond too late. You know what I mean? It's sort of on through the night, whereas at least with the NFL, you get the Sunday, all day, 6 o'clock till 1 o'clock or whatever, you get all the games on a Sunday. Yeah. So it is more accessible, but I just love basketball. Loved it when I was a kid. And because I'm so tall, 5'10", I feel like I can relate to being a basketball player.
Yeah. You look at them and go, I could do that.
That could be me.
If it wasn't for the mad amount of hair on me back, dragging me back.
Yeah.
I could
but
do that.
You see, that's why, if you wax one little bit off, it makes you more aerodynamic.
Yeah, you're getting someone's slipstream then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Jonathan Donahue points out, role models was, and he wants beef on his dinner. Lubak says the NFL. Lubak also shouts Mars Attack. I don't know what that's about, but we'll see. I don't know what Mars Attack is. Dylan says, best place in Dublin for a Sunday dinner. Now,
no idea.
Chris doesn't know, so Chris, if you ever come to Dublin, me and Keith will point you in the right direction. Go, Keith.
Okay.
Where are you thinking?
I will send you up the M50 off of Finglas, head out north on the N2 to a pub called the Brock Inn.
Yeah, nice, very nice. Do they do a Sunday roast?
They do a Sunday dinner, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, the Brock Inn.
Nice little place.
It has a pitch and putt course beside it.
So
that's why you want it.
Full 18 holes, deadly.
If you're in the city centre, go to the yacht over in Clontarf. They do a cracking one.
I think Dylan's
but
up around that way.
Packed. It's always bleeding jammers.
I think Dylan's up Raheny way, so he probably knows that one. But
you'll know that. You have to walk around like a spa with your tray trying to get a seat. It's a nightmare. Like, just be jammed no matter what time you go all over. It is nice.
Yeah. Well, I'll give the Brock as the way to go in Dublin. Dylan says the Brock is banging. There you go. A bit of duck for a Sunday roast, says Megan. Jesus, she's notions, isn't she?
She must be from money there.
Notions.
Lady Megan, the big golf, into the golf and the duck.
Oh, mother of God. Jesus, I didn't think Megan was like that. Notions. Dylan says back in the day it's not as good anymore. No, I think you'll find the field is deadly there. I'm trying to think of other places.
Could be on about the other one.
the halfway house out on the Navan Road.
In the Navan Road, yeah, it's nice. Haven't been
Dylan
there
says
in a
the
while.
yacht is the correct answer. Obviously, Dylan knows someone down there and manages to get a seat. You know what I mean?
Must go down in advance.
Fagan's used to be great. That's because but that's before Bertie went in and started annoying it. It's full of Shell
Yeah,
fans
Fagan's,
as well.
yeah.
I think that's it. There's nothing else. Anything else in your mind before we go, lads? Anything?
No, nothing.
Nothing at all, Keith. You
Nothing
usually
at
have
all.
something.
I know, but I'm, just sitting here. We've done a lot of random stuff, you know what I mean?
Loads of it.
I'm emptied out a bit.
Yeah.
Now, if anyone else has anything, we can keep going or what, but I can't think of anything.
Jonathan says Megan must be high maintenance. I don't think she's high maintenance. I just think that's a bit notions, the duck. And when I say notions, I mean, you've notions about yourself. And that's not, we're not slagging you, because I slag Andy about having notions all the time. Andy is proper. Andy is like the definition of notions.
Yeah.
He really is.
What's Megan's take on a sandwich maker? How does the duck fit in on
this
that?
is how we know. Listen, the duck could just have been a slip. Do you know what I mean? It could be just one of these things she likes and it's out of the norm. We need to get Megan's thoughts on the sandwich maker, the one where you put the bread in and when you pull
Oh, she's only joking.
Oh, she's only joking on the duck. Oh, I was hoping she wasn't.
Take it all back.
There's nothing wrong with having a bit of notions.
Yeah.
We're all
duck.
We're all disappointed. We're all disappointed now.
Yeah, I'm not mad on duck now. I think I tried it
I
once.
like it. It's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Danny said, walking away. So the best thing to watch on Netflix or Amazon. The Hernandez documentary. Do you remember the fella that played for the Patriots?
That's a mad one.
That's quite good. What else on Netflix?
The Crown.
The Crown, yeah, my wife loves that.
Yeah, my missus got me into that.
Jonathan Donoghue asks, what equipment is needed to do podcasts? It all depends.
A gav. You just need a gav.
You just need a gav and he'll sort
Just need a gav.
But Jonathan, it all depends what you want to do. Like if you want to do it from home, if you want to do just audio, if you want to do audio and video like this, if you want to do just video, there's a bit in setting up before every show and then doing the show and then editing that afterwards. Like I don't edit anything out, but you have to edit sound and stuff like that. But if you genuinely are looking to do something around the podcast, or for you or somebody else, listen, just DM us on Twitter and we'll absolutely look into stuff for you. But not too much. Plenty of time on your fucking hands, I can tell you. Or if you're willing to just take all your free time and put it into it, which I usually do, that's why I'm going for a game of golf tomorrow. But now, if you're interested, and anyone that's out there that's interested in doing a podcast, you can always contact us, because we're not the sort to go, we're not telling you. Because, like, let's be honest, you can Google it now in 5 minutes anyway. It's just easier to talk to someone about it. Let me see. Mindhunter, Jonathan Donoghue says, well, that's really good.
Yeah, Mindhunter.
Really good. And do you know what else is good on Netflix? The one about the... Oh, what was his name? Was it Ted Kaczynski? The fella that was the Unabomber. Really good.
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
Was it Manhunter, the Unabomber or something like that,
yeah, Manhunter,
all
Unabomber.
that sort of stuff is
deadly.
Yeah.
Abducted in plain sight, says Darren Plunkett.
Oh,
right.
mad.
Now, I'm glad I got that reaction, right? Because I haven't seen it, right? And I'm in a bit of an area here now where I'm not watching anything at the moment. I'll tell you what I'm going addicted to on the Channel 4, the Channel 4 app, which is that program called Hunted, where the members of the public are sent out and go on the run for 25 days. But I mean, should I watch this Abducted in Plain Sight?
No, it's not the same. It's not like that now.
No, I know that.
My brother said that. Yeah, that's my brother. Darren recommended that.
It's the name.
It's shocking.
Now, would he be like your ma, like where he's on the cabbage water, or like your dad, where he's, just eating cabbage and everything in the sandwich maker?
And he'd be like a cabbage water more than the actual cabbage.
He knows what fucking side his bread is butter, doesn't he? So always stick with your ma.
He wouldn't eat the shite and die. None of that.
He looks after himself, Darren, does he?
I was like a guinea pig, He'd send out. Do you know what my ma was only talking about it earlier? He used to do on the sandwich maker. Loads of chats about cabbage and sandwich makers.
Yeah, I'd love to drop down to the gaff one day just for a chat around that.
Chili con carne, leftover chili onto a blade and sandwich maker and all in the bread, having chili sambos and all. Anything that can go in a sandwich maker.
Nice.
But Abducted in Plain Sight, it's not like, one of them real life
no, it's
things.
Not. It's a documentary.
And I can't say too much, because there's a bit of a fucking twist in it.
But
but
it's a documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you should watch it, Gav, and then
watch it and come back.
Come back to us. The other one that's quite good on Netflix. Have you seen Criminal?
No.
Oh, there's a stack of them, isn't there? They have like a Criminal UK, Criminal Berlin.
I've watched the UK. There's only 3. It's like an hour, but it's basically just in the interrogation room where they're trying to get the confession out of someone.
Now see this.
And it's all twists. Do they have they done it? Have they not done it? I think David Tennant's in the first one. I can't remember in the other 2, but it's quite good.
This is a drama.
Yeah, it's a drama. Yeah, it's good.
And it's called what again?
Criminal.
Okay, cool. Jonathan Dunning says The Boys on Amazon is very good. Danny says he's seen The Boys and Strange are both awesome. This Amazon thing, what's the crack there? Do you just pay $5 a month and you just watch whatever you want now?
Yeah, it's like just out to Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If you for the music and the
so if you have a Fire Stick and you just go onto Amazon and press it and go.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So if you buy Amazon Prime, so for your deliveries and that, you get music and you get like videos, which is just like Netflix.
All right.
But they have a few exclusive shows as well. So it's all right. We've got it. It's all right actually.
Cool. Dylan said his dad said the cabbage water was like a birthday present in Pierce's house. Top of the range. You described it.
There you go. You see, my man, dad, and all they're all from Pierce Street as well. So that must have been the thing. And like that, they'd say, my ma'd say, they'd be sitting around waiting, and my granddad come in, he'd be at work on the docks or whatever, and he'd come in from work or from the pub or whatever, and they'd be waiting on the scrap, so he'd get the cabbage, and they'd all be waiting for the cabbage water. Tenement times.
No worries. Great. So the two of them, what were they called? The Boys and Stranger. Stranger is one on Netflix, isn't it? That's on Netflix.
Stranger's on there.
The Boys, I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
I've heard someone's recommended that to me as well. Said it's actually quite good.
All right. Dylan says Line of Duty being very highly rated. Apparently, Line of Duty is really good. If you've not seen Save Me, it's one of the best ever. Says Danny Emery. Jonathan Dunn, who just shouts dodgy box. Absolutely, if that's what you want to do. Let me see. What's the name? I'll ask. Does he know them? This must be the people down in Pierce Street, is it? Who's down in Pierce Street for you?
Well, I mean, they sort of moved to
Is Dylan sitting with his dad and his girlfriend eating nachos? That's how I pieced this whole evening together, because he was driving. Is he sitting with his dad now and his girlfriend eating nachos and just everyone typing in here going about just giving their opinion on cabbage water?
Living his best life.
Oh, it's amazing. What else would you be doing? What else should you be doing? Before you go, you can all have a guess how many strokes I'm going to hit tomorrow in me golf. And then I'll tell you who gets the closest. So we just do that for a bit of crack as well.
What's a stroke?
Shots. Many shots.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
No, don't be like that.
I don't know golf, so it wasn't being funny.
I'm not telling you.
Would you think you're tasty, like, or would you be a sham? No, I don't want to know your handicap.
No, I'm not a sham. Far from
you'd be good.
Far from it.
What's the par for where you going then?
The course tomorrow is par 71.
Right.
Silent Witness is a banger, says Ollie. Silent Witness is good. Could our night kit deal mean we could get Jadon Sancho, says Football Brian. Could do. I don't think we're paying that much for him. Jonathan Dunny, who has 86. Right, okay.
I was thinking in the 80s myself, but I don't know if that's good or an insult or not. So
I have asked, is Dylan sitting with his girlfriend and his father eating nachos talking about cabbage water, and he just says what a setup, so I'm presuming that's exactly what he's doing, and he is indeed living his best life if that's what he is doing.
Good man.
Fair play to his father for telling him that cabbage water is top of the range, and fair play to his girlfriend for manning the ship while he was driving. Luback says 95. Jonathan Dunny, who has 86. The two boys haven't committed here yet. Dylan has 83.
I'm going to say 90.
90? Okay, no problem. Chris?
I'll go 78.
78?
78? What do you think? He's a fucking pro.
I've got faith in you. Come on.
Yeah, I'm playing well.
See?
So, we'll have to see.
Wind in your back, you'd be alright.
We'll have to see. So we're ranging here from 78 to 95 from Luback, which is atrocious. Now, then again, I could go out tomorrow, could be blown a gale, and I come back and about...
See, that's what I'm banking on here. I'm banking on 126, because your hands were frozen and you just couldn't get into your stride.
Have you played the course before, Gav? I have played the course, Danny, plenty of times, yeah. It's my local course that I'm playing tomorrow. Megan McCallion has 84. let me see. After that reaction, it seems like an insult. I'd need to know your handicap. I'm not telling you your handicap. Dylan's laughing at 7 over par. Listen, you're sitting there eating fucking top of cabbage water with your man, your board. You know, you can't be laughing at anyone.
Cabbage water be making a comeback after this pod. Was single-handedly
I'll tell you. Do you know
raising
what?
the
Do you know what's going to
profile of
happen?
the
Do you know what's going to
cabbage
happen?
industry.
Chris Company are going to bring out. Chris Company are going to knock all that cabbage and bacon shit on the head and barbecue stuff. And just going to have cabbage water flavour, and we'll be hitting the ball over 6 foot snow, over 6 snowmen. Don't be doing that. It's not going to snow. I have to play tomorrow. That's us. I think that's an hour. That's completely and utterly random. We managed to get a bit of football in though, which was surprising. I'm going to be honest with you, it was surprising, but no, I enjoyed that. I really did. It's good to just sometimes come on and talk completely random, forget the football for a little bit. Tomorrow was Wednesday. I'll try to get back on tomorrow night and we get back into the football because we have to start looking forward to Watford away on Saturday evening. Saturday evening at 5:30.
Saturday at 5.
So we'll try to get on tomorrow night and have a little chat about that. I'm trying to get Andy on for a big chat, but I know he's been off doing Liverpool supporting things like being at Anfield last night, and I'm trying to get Grizz on as well because I know a lot of people are asking for Grizz as well, so I'll try my best on both of them before the end of the week or into early next week, but I'll try my best for tomorrow. Thursday will definitely happen, Friday will definitely happen, and we'll see how we go from there. Keith, thanks a million for joining us. It's been a pleasure as always.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We've had a mention of Liam. Your brother's piped in now. I'm just waiting for your man to come in with a recipe for cabbage water, and then we have completed the podcast world.
Oh, get them all in.
Yeah, absolutely. Get them live in studio. I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. with Dicko's ma.
Yeah,
get them on with Dicko's ma.
Dicko's ma. But the only thing is, if the cabbage water turns up in a blue pot, Dicko's ma go absolutely
rasher. No, she's fine. It's gonna be like a khaki brown colour. So,
yeah. From back in the day.
Muddy green.
From back in the day.
Yeah.
No worries. Chris, thanks a million for joining us.
Cheers for having us again, mate.
Good stuff. That's been the Fatback 4 Daily. Thanks a million to everyone for putting in your questions tonight. It's been brilliant. All the questions have been deadly, so thanks a million. I'm going to try play golf tomorrow, and Lubac can piss off if he thinks I'm hitting 95. Over and out.